Hello, everybody. Welcome to Thursday. The S&P 500 was down a little bit more than 0.8% today. We had Chairman Powell, the head of the Federal Reserve, speaking today, and he said some things that market liked at first. It actually went from negative to positive, talking about essentially not raising rates at the next meeting as a likely scenario. And so that's what the market has been expecting, kind of, hoping to hear that. But as he continued, talking about it, it was just more of the same of, maybe having to hold rates higher for longer, committing to getting down to 2%. We may have some, softer job markets and even a softer economy in order to accomplish that. That was his expectation, and, et cetera. So, the totality of the statement kind of weighed on the market in the end. We got a lot going on right now here with the House Representatives situation in Israel, Ukraine, and, this scenario with inflation and the Federal Reserve. Just the market is kind of, absorbing all of these things at one time. The volume is relatively low, and even today was down a bit. That's kind of a good thing on a down day. You'd like to see that, but it's been coming down, throughout this run up, small run up that we've had since October 3rd. That we're, kind of giving back most of now. We're still on trend. We had a trend line that started October 13th of last year. That we're on, but we're getting right back down to it again. So, generally speaking, the more times you touch a trend, the more likelihood you are to break through it. So we'll see what happens here. The big support isn't that trend line per se. It's the 200-day moving average and the 4,100 to 4,200 range of the S&P 500. We just fell below 4,300 today, so still got a little bit of ways to go. And that was my original premise, is that we would get to that and then bounce. So maybe that's where we're heading. We'll have to see. But nonetheless, the trend overall of uptrend that started back in last year in October is still in place. That's not a factor at this point. But so we'll see how this goes. Get some buying that might come in and what have you. Some of the company earnings are coming out. Some have been pretty good. And so that might be the catalyst that gets things going, but be awful nice to see things, resolve themselves in some of these other areas of the world and here, in Washington too. So that would help. But nonetheless, that's what's happening today. Look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Thank you.